I want to ask you another question. Ireland as a country, do you think Ireland as a country has been good to Africans? I want you to be honest.
The Ireland as a country has, it's good and bad as any other country. And it is, what you see is that when people come in, there is the importance of understanding the culture of each country. And, I suppose when we come in with a culture, we want people to understand us, and we also need to understand the Irish culture. But as people, when we try to integrate, we sometimes hold on to our beliefs. And to answer your question, Ireland has its problems in terms of that, whereas in other countries like the States or France or other, there is the othering, the discrimination is overt. You know that this is your space. But when it is not, when it's covert, when you are made to feel or discriminated against, and it's done in a way that is so insidious, it's bit by bit. I think we've talked about being death by a thousand cuts, that you realize whether when you're applying for a job, you're judged by your surname. If you're talking to a person, your accent, you're told that you're foreign. Going to school, children have been told, we've had stories of children suffering racism, to the fact that we're dealing with a young child of 12 years old who's on antidepressants because of racial bullying. And as I've talked about, the death by suicide of young folks within our community. So yes, there is a problem of not acceptance of Black people, and it goes as further as how mixed race children were treated in the mother and baby homes. So we have to look as far as that the acceptance, we need to work on it, but we also have to work on ourselves, that when we are teaching our young people, what do we teach about themselves? Like, how do we empower them? So racism is always going to be there. Like, I lived through apartheid. Apartheid is still there. I'm here, 30 years later, and I'm still having to be discriminated. But we cannot lament about the racism. What we need to do is empower ourselves. We cannot be crying all the time. Yes, we can't change it. We are not the ones that created discrimination or racism. There's a community that know how to stop it, but they're not willing to stop it. So how can we survive in that hostile environment? That is where we are at as an organization, Roots in Africa and Ireland, and within our Rooted and United Youth. How do you survive in hostile environments?